to another spooky pod, the only spooky podcast
in the world. My name is Nathan. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, who is going to tell us all what this show is about.
No one cares, Lawrence. I did it myself. You can't do it to me anymore. Nathan, this is the show where we get together. We talk about all things pop culture. We talk about fun movies. We talk about games. We talk about TV shows, and we try and put a bit of a positive spin on it. The world.
A spooky spin.
Right, I wasn't going to jump to it this early. This is our technically fourth, but our third Halloween special.
Is it our fourth?
Yeah, we did a bad one when we first started. It was like, I think we did.
Yeah, I know. We did us, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it is, because now this is the third Scream movie. So
Yeah.
we've been doing this podcast 3 years now.
No, it's pretty wild.
3 years of another happy pod.
Indeed.
Aw,
I know.
happy birthday.
It's not our birthday, I don't think.
I know it was a birthday like a month ago, but like,
Happy birthday, happy belated birthday.
happy belated birthday to this podcast.
Indeed. And I think by
Oh, that's
extension,
kinda
me
cute.
and you,
Yeah, it's our birthday.
we have a collective
Why don't you get me a
birthday.
present?
Sorry, I forgot. I will offer you the gift of telling me how you are.
Lawrence, I'm cold.
You're a chilly boy.
I am a chilly boy. I'm going to put that heat on.
Don't do it. I'm saying this. Don't
We
do
just
it.
had this conversation. I say just like about 2 hours ago.
We're repeating riffs, but it's not. That's not on this feed. They won't know.
It's on a different feed, Lawrence. We're recording all fucking hell. All sense of podcasting hosting knowledge goes out the window whenever we record two back to back.
Yeah.
Because my mind just goes to mush by the time we get to the second one.
The second one always suffers, but what I will say is that that's fine, and no one pays for these, and we're not technically held to a standard.
It's true. This is free. So shut up.
So get off our backs.
Yeah. I think it's not helped by the fact that you insist on recording these as late as possible. So by the time we get to the second one, it's like, was it now? It was 20 to midnight.
No one asked us to go on about Doctor Who for 2 hours. All right, we made that choice.
Yeah, no one asked us to record at 9 p.m. as well.
So, I mean, you're not wrong. That is fair. Look, I will take over some degree of a hosting duty by saying this is Scream 3.
Spooky.
It is. When you were discussing about the robot voice you were going to do, peek behind the curtain, Nathan was like, was this a spooky voice? And I said, yeah, I think so. I thought
Not a robot voice.
No, but I thought you were going to make it more of a ghost face thing. I thought you were going to be like, hello, Sydney.
Oh, like a...
Hello, Sydney.
Yeah,
That's quite good, isn't
that
it?
is quite good. I think once you did the accent as well, it came together a bit better.
But I was just going for more of a general, like, Halloween vibe.
Well, what I'm saying, Nathan, is you should have done it better, I think.
Lawrence, we have a tradition on this podcast.
We do.
What is that tradition? I'll tell you right now. Every Halloween, we watch an entry into the Scream franchise for some fucking reason. 2 years ago, we just randomly decided we'll do Scream, and then we'll do the next one the next Halloween. And now we're at Scream 3 2 years later. So here we are, I guess.
I think you can actually, if you listen to the Scream 1 episode, I think you can hear the conception of this idea. I think
really?
I think at the end we were like, I want to go and watch the next ones. And I was like, maybe we should save them. Or one of us said that or something to that effect.
Probably me. I always have a good idea.
Oh, okay. Well, if it was you, then that's fair enough. But look, now it's become less of a fun idea and more of a cross to bear, hasn't it, really?
Well, it's become a cross to bear in the sense that, like, I see the trailers for the new ones and I'm like, oh, I want to watch that, but I can't until I watch the others.
In 3 years.
In 3 fucking years.
It will be about that, because I believe Scream 6 was the most recent one to come out, and we have just watched Scream 3.
Yes. So.
What I think a pitfall of this tactic as well is, we spoke about this on the phone a little earlier, but like, I've just forgotten what happens in Scream 2.
I remember broad strokes.
Yeah.
I remember it was set at college, at university. There was young, sexy Cobb Vanth,
Yep.
Timothy Oliphant, and maybe his mum or someone's mum.
Yeah, it was Billy Loomis's mum.
Oh, but Billy Loomis's mum.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think she was in cahoots with Cobb Vanth.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And at the end, everyone just got obliterated, like the the Dear Sister SNL sketch.
Yeah.
It was like that by the end of it. Everyone was just getting sprayed with bullets.
Yeah, there's always a big shootout
moment. There is indeed.
Yeah, but we're back. It's time for Scream 3, the next episode in our tradition. Had you seen this movie, Lawrence?
No. I'm completely blind.
I was also completely blind. Did you know anything about it? Did you know the general reception or anything like that?
Nothing. I mean, I've watched the movie now, but I still couldn't tell you how the public digested this. I can't tell you where it ranks on people's Scream tier lists or anything like that.
I can, and I will.
Okay.
I believe this is generally perceived as the worst of the bunch.
Of all of them?
Of all of them.
Really?
Yes. I believe this is generally perceived as the worst one. And I can see why.
Oh, okay. Are you not a fan of this?
I'm a fan of some of it.
It's not Scream 1.
It's not Scream 1. It's not Scream 2.
Yeah.
It's definitely the worst one we've seen so far, I think.
I guess by default, yeah, we have to.
I think it gets a little dumb in some places, and not dumb like Scream does, like good Scream dumb fun. Just straight up dumb, I think.
I think there's still a healthy dosage of Scream dumb fun in this though as well.
There's some Scream dumb fun, but I think a little bit towards the end especially, it just kind of veers off into nonsense.
See, I don't know. I think are you talking about like the reveal, the twist reveal?
Yes, well, we'll get to it.
Okay. Right. What I will say, and I'm going to start doing this, I think, for certain topics, is just some overall thoughts up the top. Right, before we get into the nitty-gritty, just sum up.
Winner, I love chicken for dinner.
Okay, thanks, Nathan. Thank you for that contribution.
You're welcome.
My overall thoughts are, firstly, the dog was safe, thank God.
I will say, as soon as I saw that dog, I paused the movie, I pulled out my phone, I went to www.doesthedogdie.com because I was not in the mood to watch a fucking dog die.
I can't believe that website. I remember you telling me about this years ago, and I can't believe it exists.
It's an amazing website, and I will champion it until the day I die.
Okay.
I need to know. I am not watching a movie if a dog dies.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
That's fair. You would have come to this podcast like, Lawrence, I've seen the first 5 minutes. And what I can say is that it was fine. The second point I have to make is that this is an incredibly brave and bold movie to have been financed by the Weinstein Company.
Why did you have to bring that up right up top?
We don't have to talk about it right now. What I'm just saying is someone felt bad passing that money over.
I don't think they did.
No, I don't think he did.
I don't think anyone did.
That's fair. That's probably very fair. But yeah, anyway, right, where does it... Scream is... The one thing Scream is known for is they do these banger intros. We had, obviously, the Drew Barrymore stuff in the first one. The absolute worst screening experience ever in the second one. What's the third one?
Liv Schreiber is back.
He is.
As the guy who was in the second movie and maybe in the first movie, but I don't know.
I think he's like retroactively has been put in the first movie. Like it's like that was a name that we said in the first movie, but now he's a character in the second movie.
Right. Okay. Got ya.
Yeah.
Got ya. Well, he's back. He's like hosting some talk show. He just filmed a cameo for Stab 3, the big hit franchise. And he's going home and he gets a phone call from a young, sexy lady. Twist. The voice, it's a lady voice now. Never had this before.
We haven't.
Twist.
I do like firstly, the voice changer aspect of the whole thing, right?
It's so dumb. We don't even have that technology now.
Yeah. When it's one voice, I'm willing to buy it. But in the same universe where a man is pulling his phone battery out and it's the size of a brick and he's like, I gotta recharge this.
That is like you can recreate voices with AI, but like you can notice like there's
and it's not as quick as a phone call.
No, it's not, and it's not like note perfect like this is.
If I was a betting man, I would say they got the actors to do their own voices.
I think they did too, you know. So he has the magical voice changing machine, and he's like, you know what, this whole opening right off the bat, I was like, oh yeah, this isn't as good as the other two openings, is it? It's
not as good, but I think they make up for it in its brutalness.
See, I think like the Scream opening, it kind of should be separate from the rest of the movie.
Yes, I agree
with
that.
It should be characters who really don't have anything to do Like, it shouldn't be like fucking Liv Schreiber, who was in the last movie. It should be like some random teen girl, or like, a boyfriend is over, or some shit like that. It should be some random killing that can get us ready for the main event, I think.
We joked last year that our kind of the way we digest those kind of cold opens, for lack of a better phrase, is they're the practice run. They're the murderer being like, can I get away with this? I'm gonna do 2 randos outside the city.
Yeah.
And then, like, if no one catches me in a month, I'll start doing the murder stuff that I want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a bit weird that it is just directly this kind of, and it's central to the plot as well. Like, it kicks off a thing that is a bit like, I don't know. But
they all kind of did. The first one kicked off like a whole thing as well.
True.
And the second one as well, I think.
I will say, I think it's...
But this one feels like it's more directly involved.
Yeah. I think it's because the characters know each other by name.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Of that. I do think what I really liked about it is hang on, firstly, before we go past it, the executive that thought of the talk show name 100% Cotton needs a raise. That is fantastic. That is a phenomenal name.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But the second one, I just think, like, there's something especially cruel about, like, basically ringing up Cotton and being like, I'm going to kill your girlfriend unless you get over there right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, so he races there. Then he just goes and pretends he's Cotton.
Yeah.
So that, and then he dips, and then Cotton arrives, and he's like, why are you giving me ag? What have I done? and then the literally the kind of nail in the coffin is that he just comes in and goes, lol, I was pranking both of you, and kills them both.
Yeah.
I do think that is especially brutal.
Yeah, it's especially brutal. It's kind of boring.
It's fair. I think there's some good stuff. I think there's, like, the cameras moving around. Like, Wes Craven's good at creating this kind of feeling of tension, as it's like, it almost makes you feel like the camera is Ghostface stalking these people.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like if you think back to, like, the cold open in the first one, and you got that, like, big chase through the house and then the gardens and everything, and it's nowhere near as exciting as that for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, down to everything, like the setting wise, it's not some, like, fucking 1-floor apartment where you can't crash someone off a roof or something off that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, there's less opportunity for goofiness.
There's lots of wood everywhere.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, I do know what you mean. It is a little bit, like, lackluster. It leaves you kind of, I do think, like, when you compare it, it is the weakest, but, like, as a movie on its own, like, it holds its ground. It's still an entertaining opening, I think.
Yeah.
the most you wanted to say no so bad, but you're just like, let's stop talking about the opening now.
Yeah, let's move
on. I will say, we get onto it fairly quickly. Sydney is living her life kind of separated. She's using a fake name. She works at, like, a kind of crisis hotline situation.
The life Sydney is living, this is the thing about the movie that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Like, that girl should be in a bunker underground, like, with 27 different locks on her door. Okay? Like, the way she's got, like assumedly an electrified fence or something, and then she's got, like, fucking, like, keypad locks on all her doors and everything. You would assume that dog is, like, specially trained somehow.
I would argue that dog does nothing later on when it is confronted with any form of this.
Well, the dog, there's nothing that happens there.
The dog, someone comes near the house, I'm sure of it.
In a dream.
Ah, it's a dream. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be dreams. That's not my fault.
Okay.
Do you think that she's, like, fortified? I think she's put some protection around, like, a 4-foot picket fence.
No, I think she's fortified. Yeah, she's clearly got she's got like a fucking code on the gate, so that implies to me electric fence or something.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but has she considered that Ghostface, in whatever form Ghostface takes, is just willing to just charge through ridiculous torture and pain to get somewhere?
Yeah, I think this gives her more of a heads up.
Yeah,
really.
At least it will be having some sort of internal bleeding by the time he gets.
She's probably got floodlights, like, outside the house.
That's
like
true.
As soon as, like, a fucking squirrel steps foot out there, it's just lights on, you know?
Yeah, the local wildlife is just like, fuck that house, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. What do you make of the whole, like, concept of her not running, but, like, working up a crisis hotline?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. clearly a very traumatized individual who has been through a lot, and going to keep going through a lot.
No breaks for Sydney.
No, we got 3 more of these. It makes sense to me that's something she'd end up doing.
Yeah.
She'd probably be good at it as well. So
I think so, and I think it's like, if anyone, she has the most practice in the world for de-escalating a stressful scenario over the phone. But I do think there's like a sad component to it all. Like she's using a fake name and she won't come back to town or anything. A lot of people don't even know where she is. They know that she's hiding, but they don't know where.
good.
Yeah, it is good. But I think like there's an element of like, imagine how fucking horrible it must be to just never be able to move on with your life. Because like anywhere that she goes, there is this onus around her that I think is anywhere that she goes is just that like any new person she meets is another new person that could die in a year when some other fucking nutcase tries to just make a point.
Well, any new person she meets could be someone who's going to die in a year, but any new person she meets could also be a new Ghostface as well.
Yeah, that's also
like, they're apparently they're just going to keep coming up. So,
I mean, I get this one and what's going on, but like, what inspires the later Ghostfaces? We've read like news articles of like stuff that happens, like just bad shit, but we never go, I'll do that.
Yeah, but Lawrence, we're relatively sound of mind.
I mean, yeah, that's very true.
I say relatively, like, don't get me wrong, there's shit going on, but like, for the most
but not
part,
not this level.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked. All right, we last year I remember we speaking about us. We spoke about how Randy died, right? So
You bring up Randy already?
no, not. I'm not bringing up Randy. I'm bringing up a larger point surrounding Randy.
Okay.
Randy died in the last movie. So
Yeah.
where is our annoying film energy coming from in this movie?
Don't worry, the whole thing is about Phil.
I like that they just went, actors. They're also really fucking irritating, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. And they are.
I like that. That was one thing I was worried about, or kind of wasn't gonna come across. Once they killed Randy, it's harder. He was the resident Scream guy that was like, "How are you today, Randy? I'm as good as the third Godfather movie," or something. Like he wouldn't speak like a normal person.
He speaks like you and all your mates.
No, this is not how I speak.
He is, yeah. He's like you and all your film bro mates. You're always communicating through like movie titles.
Sometimes we're just talking over each other just to say another movie title to prove that we know more.
With all of you proving that your love for Killers of the Flower Moon or whatever the fuck that movie is called.
I've got tickets to go see that movie.
I'm sure you have, yeah.
Oh God, no! He's seeing a popular Scorsese movie. Shoot him!
I never said anything either way.
I see. But that was a component I was worried wasn't going to be in it as heavily. But boy, was I wrong! It's in it way more.
Yes, the whole movie. It's like, hey, we're making a movie. You remember that deeply traumatic thing that happened to you? Well, now it's a whole franchise. Stab 3, baby.
Where are people at with Stab as well? Because you likened it last year to the Phantom Menace in terms of just excitement,
and that was the first one.
Yeah,
like there wasn't. It wasn't a sequel. There hadn't been anything prior. It was like, this is the first one, and everyone is like, yeah, let's fucking go, Stab, yeah. They were loving it. I don't know. I think it's dropped off a bit.
Yeah, because actors and actresses are like, I fucking hate this.
David Schwimmer and someone else, Tori Spelling, I think they said, dropped out of their roles. So they're no longer in it. They've had to recast and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, it's probably a dwindling horror franchise.
I see.
As as tends to happen.
But there'd still be that. You don't get a crowd as vocal as the crowd in Scream. In Stab 2 in Scream 2, this is going to get really fucking annoying. Doing this. But you don't get a crowd that vocal without having a heated fan base. And now people have dropped off of Star Wars a little bit, but it's still just the most vocal and irritating community of people.
I don't know, because I feel like they could do a huge out of the gate open with one and then yeah, this is cool, but then immediately follow up with just a big pile of shit and be like,
just a stinker. Yeah.
I know often with horror movie franchises, they'll just go on as well. They'll just go, they'll fucking was the last Saw? It was like Saw like fucking 10.
I think it is Saw 10, yeah.
Yeah, so like there you go.
Did you see all that Saw Patrol stuff that they were trying to do?
Oh, that's the most manufactured shit ever, man. That's whatever the studio is. Like, they saw Barbenheimer and they saw that, like, fucking Chris Nolan made like fucking $3 billion more than he would have if Barbie didn't come out.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, we should get in on this. You guys ever heard of Saw Patrol?
I hate it so because like also it misses out the crucial component that I would have enjoyed seeing Barbie and Oppenheimer as two separate things on two separate days.
Yeah.
I'm not going to see Paw Patrol.
And
man.
you did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's also true.
You did. I'll never let anyone forget that you did not do Barbenheimer.
I didn't partake. But yeah, I'm not going to go see
Coward.
Paw Patrol, man. I'm not. God, I don't know. I don't need to see Paw Patrol.
Yeah, me neither.
What is nice about this is the like you get. I like how meta it gets with the whole it being a movie. They get to kind of lean in a meta way more so than they weren't able to in the first two. Like, and they leaned in the first two, but this one takes it to a new level.
The first two got pretty mad.
Yeah, but this one you've got an actress rehearsing her lines for the phone call sequence in the movie that actually just ends up becoming a real life ghost faced phone call.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff is. I do think it lacks a bit of the charm.
Oh, definitely. 100% it does. It feels like in the first one, I remember there was some great just off the cuff like jokes and gags. Like, remember that fucking Freddy Krueger gag?
Wes Craven.
Freddy Krueger was Wes Craven was the janitor, and he was just dressed as Freddy Krueger for some reason.
I do remember
that was fucking hilarious. Okay, and there's nothing in this. There's bizarre fucking cameos in this movie. Fucking Jay and Silent Bob.
Right. I need to bring this up.
Okay.
Last year.
Yes.
Are you aware that you said Kevin Smith would be a thing in this?
Like jokingly?
Genuinely, as a complete joke.
Yeah.
I said. So I think exactly what I said was just saying. I said Randy died. I swear to you, I'm not fucking bullshitting. Everyone can go and listen to the Scream 2 podcast and see when it was uploaded. Right?
Okay.
I said to you, Randy's dead. Who's going to deliver all the film commentary in the next one? And you said, I don't know, fucking Kevin Smith or something.
Well, he doesn't. It's Randy again.
But it's enough of a stab in the dark for Kevin Smith to just be in this, and you were completely pulling that out of a fucking hat.
But he plays his character Silent Bob, who famously doesn't speak.
But still, give me this.
Yeah,
this is
true.
mental.
It's true, yeah. Still, why are Jay and Silent Bob in this movie, though? Does this take place in the fucking Askewiverse or whatever it's called? Is this the same universe as Clerks? And fucking Chasing Amy and Mallrats and all that sort of shit?
I could not tell you.
And Captain Marvel, I guess?
I couldn't tell you. I also couldn't tell you why Carrie Fisher is here playing someone that isn't Carrie Fisher but was up for the role of Princess Leia.
She's playing someone who isn't Carrie Fisher but looks massively like Carrie Fisher, and she was also up there for the role of Princess Leia but didn't sleep with George Lucas. So
fucking hell. I do like how immediately after she's like, was that fun? Shall I tell you who you look like? To Gail Weathers, who is obviously Monica from Friends.
Yeah. I love Carrie Fisher. I miss Carrie Fisher.
I do too. What a light. What an absolute shining light.
Truly incredible.
Let's talk about some specifics. Right, Sydney is not really in this movie.
Not at first.
She's very much a supporting character in this.
Again, at first, yeah, but I would argue that she kind of becomes the main character halfway through the movie.
I think she still takes a backseat while some pretty important stuff is happening. Like the whole discovery that we get of fucking whatchamacallit, that when everyone goes to that weird sex mansion.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff at first, she's not there. She has to show up a bit later on.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. I'd still say she's the main character.
I would raise you that she was on. So I looked into this a little bit. She was on set for 20 days, which is insane. Like insanely short for a role that she is heading up as a lead.
All right, but how long was Courtney Cox on set for?
I do not have that information.
There you go. Can't prove me wrong.
21 days, Nathan. Boom.
Incorrect.
But also, this was drastically changed. This whole thing was completely kind of hauled over because of the
that makes sense.
the Columbine shooting and all of that stuff.
Oh, that does make sense. Okay.
Yeah. So they that obviously happened, and they were like, okay, we're getting them out of any school, like no uni, no high school, nothing resembling a school.
Yeah. That makes sense. When did this come out?
I believe this was 2000.
2000.
And when you can,
Year of our Lord.
when you consider the first one was 96, and there's 3 of them already, that's pretty wild.
It is, yeah. The first one came out the second one came out like a year after the first, like literally like straight up a year, which means like they got going on that one.
It does seem weird that this is the one that took the longest amount of time.
Well, I don't know if it took the longest. There was just probably a gap before they came back.
Another season of Friends.
Yeah, exactly. What's going on with Courtney Cox's fringe, man?
She looks real weird, doesn't she?
It looks awful, doesn't it? Like there's another character who's like playing Gale in the movie, and she looks more like Gale than fucking Courtney Cox does.
When she gets that like wig on from like how she looked in Scream 1.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what the fuck? What? Yeah, well they really did you dirty, didn't they? I think Dewey looks fucked as well. Like they've made Dewey look like such a button-up nerd.
I think Dewey looks good. He looks handsome, I think.
He's handsome, but like I feel like they've made him more of a nerd than he needs to be.
I don't think so. I'm not getting nerd vibes from him.
Do you not?
No, I'm getting. Oh, maybe this says more about me, but I'm just getting well put to do man. Just a man who knows what he wants, knows what he's doing.
So we've all learned something about Nathan today. All right, what do you as like? Because I think genuinely, for the most part, I would consider Dewey and Gale as the leads of this. And even if you say up to a certain point, they do carry a large chunk of the movie.
Yeah, they do. That is fair.
So what do you make of them two?
I mean, they're great. They're a great duo. I always like them in these movies. There always seems to be some kind of scene where Gale either gets clocked or gets to clock someone, and it's fucking great. And there's the moment where she just fucking clocks Jennifer Fake Gale in this movie. Who for the first like 20 minutes of this, I was like, is that Jennifer Garner? Is that Jennifer Garner playing Jennifer Garner? And it is not. But I was like, she looks like Jennifer. Is that Jennifer Garner?
Do you know who the guy is that plays the movie Dewey?
The who?
The movie Dewey.
Oh,
like, cause he's got a face on him, and I just can't place it whatsoever.
I don't know what his name is, so no.
Damn. Okay. If anyone knows, let us know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, no. As characters, I think they're really fun. I always love their dynamic. I like that it's very much a case of just like, it's not even a will they won't they. It's they gave it a go and now they don't like each other a little bit.
Well, yeah, something's clearly gone wrong. Like they tried and now they've clearly like had a breakup or things just haven't worked out or whatever.
Yeah, but then obviously, and this is something that I do find a bit silly. Like he then attempts to like move on with the actress that's playing the movie version.
Yeah,
of her,
and he's giving her like notes on how to be just like Gale or whatever,
which is like it's just so silly. And it's obviously like he can't stay away from that kind of energy. He does have strong feelings for Gale. But it's just very, very silly, and I quite enjoy it.
It is very silly. I will give you that. Yeah.
Who else? What else is going on?
What do you think of the like? Because obviously a big part of this is Stab 3, and is it Back to Woodsboro or something like Return to Woodsboro,
something like that. Yeah.
And then they have the set of Stab 3, which is pretty much just the set of the first Scream movie, basically. I feel like that's quite well done.
I like all of that stuff, and I like the. I wish that as a character, Randy wasn't resurrected via the medium of videotape to tell us.
Oh, God, I kind of love that. I kind of love it.
Do you really?
I love that. Like, clearly in Scream 2, all this shit was going on, and he's like, right, I might not survive this. I need to film a little something here.
I do like that. Like his roommate's banging the door, and he's like, "This is my legacy."
Yeah. But I don't know. I like that. Like not even death can stop Randy from delivering his film knowledge for everyone.
It's such a weird thing to like apply to real life as well. I understand it's like heightened reality, but like it's so bizarre. But no, I like that. I think there is an element of like, I think to finish a trilogy outright, and you know, when you look at the dates, this was intended to be a trilogy, and then Scream 4 came along like 10 years after the fact.
Yeah, Scream 4 was like 2009, 2008 or something.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it might have even been later than that, which is pretty crazy.
I think you're wrong.
But the yeah,
I think you're wrong.
I think I'm right.
I think you're wrong.
Go on, pull it up.
Oh, okay. No, never mind.
What was it?
2011.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't have been more right. Perfect.
All right.
No, but I think like he does speak sense. A lot of trilogies do take it full circle. Like a lot want to go back to that route.
Yeah, it's true.
And it is effective. And I think that even ties in with like who the killer ends up being. And it like the killer has had, you know, Randy talks about how an accepted truth is challenged, and that is that, you know, we're under the impression that Billy Loomis, you know, this was his brainchild, this was his idea to do this stuff, but he was actually being manipulated the entire time by an evil, wicked director man. But yeah, I don't know. Like, so you said you liked all of that stuff.
No, I like Randy.
No, like as in like the back to the beginning stuff.
Yeah. I like that. That's quite interesting. I don't like the director secret brother bullshit. No.
I like that. I thought that was cool.
No, I don't.
I think in a movie that is very much like bearing in mind what it reveals about Sydney's mum and how she's always been referred to as, I'm not going to say the words, but she's been referred to as some horrible terms for promiscuous ladies.
You specifically would say that she belongs to the streets.
Come on now. But like, I think like I know a secret brother is always a fucking stupid thing. But like,
it's so stupid.
But this is a rare instance where I actually think it works a little bit.
No, I disagree. I just don't like it because, like, I tell you what, halfway through the movie, I like had the exact thought, but about the fucking detective.
Yeah,
like there was a moment where the detective was like talking about like her mum or something, or he was talking about like how he got started. I can't remember what he was talking about, but there was something I was like, oh, he's not like a secret brother or some shit, is he? Because that would just be so fucking dumb. and then he's not. But
someone else.
But the actual killer is. And then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I kind of guessed it, and it's kind of dumb, and I don't like it.
Who were your suspects?
I was all over the place. For the longest time, it was the detective.
Yeah.
And the movie was very purposefully like, it's the detective.
Yeah. I always hate to count them ones because like the movie's obviously trying to mislead me.
I know, but I couldn't draw a line through it though. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Because it might be one of those where it's like, it's the detective. Oh no, it's not the detective. Oh, but the detective is involved. It is the detective too.
Yeah.
Because I had this exact thought because like when it was like, oh, I'm your secret brother, and then it was like Gail and Dewey trying to get into the secret room or whatever. But then we see the door open, and then it's the detective coming into the secret room. I was like, "Oh fuck, here we go."
Yeah,
it's easy. And he's doing it.
I tell you what they do really well is the whole. I think the actors all do a fine job of playing. Oh, I mean, all the ones that are on trial, like it's not going to be Dewey, it's not going to be Gail. The ones that are on trial, I all think do an ambiguous enough job and performance to make you believe it could actually feasibly be any of them.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
like that moment where the detective is like Sydney's grilling him and he's like, put your gun down, and she does, and he just has a tiny moment where you're like, oh fuck, is he about to get his gun out again? And just
there's a moment like where like I think it's after she gets chased like through the movie set or something, like he just puts her in a car and they just drive off together, and I was like, oh, I don't know about that one, Chief.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
I'm also reminded of the fucking exact last movie where Sydney got in a cop car and it just got. I know it wasn't the cops, but it was supposed to be the movie was telling us it was the cops, and then the cops just got killed, and then Sydney was still in trouble. Like, if I'm Dewey, like, it's not going anywhere without me. Like, stop saying goodbye to Sydney.
Yeah,
just go places in a group.
Yeah, that's the best. Just hold hands at all times.
Yeah, in a corner of a room where you can see all exits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. Obviously, Not Sydney was a big suspect as well.
Yeah, because she kind of like appeared weirdly after the gas bomb thing.
She was so fucking weird, and then she also like had a ghost face mask and a phone and whatever.
Oh yes,
And it
that's
was,
also true. Yeah, she was like,
yeah.
that whole sequence where like you don't get out of that, do you? Like if I'm Sydney, I'm just like, that's an innocent woman. I'm still killing her. Like,
Yeah, the fact that Sydney was like, oh, okay, yeah, this seems fine. I was like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
yeah. Why you are too trusting?
Shoot her in the face right now.
at least twat her and leave, just so you know.
Yeah.
Like there's not going to be some serious consequence. I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility of like a judge to be like, no, a judge would side with Sydney, is what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
To any case of
so,
of battery.
Yeah. And that's pretty much everyone, really.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anyone? Oh no, the one guy that I did think was a bit suspect was Movie Dewey. The guy that's playing him, the guy that's like a weird drunk sex pest.
Oh, that was dumb. As when the fucking house blew up as well. I was like, this doesn't seem like Scream. This seems
It did feel like
dumb.
louder, dumber, and
Yeah.
a bit more.
And the whole thing of like, oh, I can't see. Let me just pull out my lighter, which is the only way to see something in the dark.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be that the fucking gas is leaking or whatever.
And then
Dumb,
it
man.
reveals the next line as like, I'll spare whoever smells the gas or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So stupid.
Yeah, there are a couple of kills in this that I'm just like, I just feel like they lack when Ghostface should
Name
get
them.
in and fucking get dirty.
Yeah.
That's what-
A knife. He should stab you with a knife at all times. He doesn't blow anyone up. That's so dumb, man.
Yeah, it's weird. He should like gut people like he does. That's his thing. I do think.
What are the dumb kills that you don't like?
There's not. I think it's mainly that one. Oh, it's not so much a kill. It's more like he fakes his own death kind of thing.
Who, Roman?
Yeah, and then kind of like
okay.
shimmies around it all, and I don't really understand how
Yeah.
that played out.
Yeah.
So that was something. But I don't know. I think it does feel. I see like the talent is there, the directing is still there, but it feels like the concept's been stretched to its limit.
Yeah, I think so. Like I say, I definitely think this is the weaker of the three,
Yeah.
really. In terms of, like, compared to the other two, it's not as entertaining, unfortunately. I wasn't as, like, engaged or, like, gripped. Like, with the other two, I specifically remember, like, constantly being like, oh, who is it? Is it this guy? And then the movie being like, oh, maybe it's this guy. And then I'm like, oh, maybe it's not that guy.
Yeah.
And then and all this sort of stuff. And there's a bit of that with this movie, but it's just not as fun, really. It just, none of it, I wasn't, I don't know, I just wasn't having as much fun with it.
I think there's not as much guesswork to do, right? It's not like it's
Yeah.
It
And then again, by the time the reveal does come around, I'm just like, oh, I'm clogged out of this. Man. I don't want anything to do with it.
see that's the thing. I think we're not agreeing on that. Like I just don't. I think the reveal. I do think it's like it's definitely not the best, but at the same time, I'm like I don't hate this. I think this is like I like the idea of a little director. Like also. When you think about it from the Wes Craven angle and how he always likes to comment on movies and stuff, it's funny that it's just he's basically citing a director with intense mummy issues that like hasn't got the talent to do anything, so blames the world and is like it's because of this and it's nothing to do with that.
It's just mainly just the Secret Brother thing. It's just so dumb. I just don't like it.
Yeah,
really.
That's fair. I also think it'd be like crazy. It does rely on a few like contrivances of like Sydney's mum had a completely different name and like all of this stuff.
It's that classic like sequel thing. Like even Randy says it like fucking, new information which we didn't know before, which couldn't have possibly happened. It's like, oh, suddenly Sydney's mum just went to Hollywood before any of that happened, and she's trying to be an actress, and she even starred in a few movies, but just went back to Woodsboro then, I guess.
And no one knew.
Yeah.
Except fucking the guy, the killer, because he ended up finding her or something.
He tracked her down 4 years ago.
Yeah, which is crazy. I do think there's an element of it that removes some of like Billy Loomis, aka one of the most famous movie serial killers, and one of like the finest twists in horror history. It does remove
His boyfriend.
yeah, and his boyfriend, yeah, and his,
Yeah.
and Stu. It does remove a bit of his malice and threat when we find out he was
Yeah.
just being manipulated the entire time,
Yeah.
which is a shame. I understand they wanted to create that link, and this guy was supposed to be the big bad, but like you don't kneecap fucking Billy Loomis for this guy.
No, because this guy's weird, man. Like, as soon as he pulled off the mask, I was like, "Who's that?" Like, has he been in the movie?
That's another thing. He dipped from the movie for like half an hour at one point,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like it doesn't always feel like the movie was tricking me as much as it was when Billy and Stu were the killers.
Yeah, yeah,
Because that's plain as day in your face. Like you even spoke about how the moment where he wipes the knife, but he's actually putting blood on the knife,
yeah.
and like that's all stuff that like it's like the it's like the Knives Out thing, right? Where it's like a lot of people like that because it's a murder mystery where the clues are all on the screen if you're paying enough attention.
yeah,
And if you're not paying enough attention, then you'll miss it. And I just feel like the clues were deliberately hidden because I guess a script got rewritten quickly and they were working on kind of constraints they didn't have in the first two movies.
which, given the reason, is fair enough. But
Yeah,
like,
completely. But no one told them they needed to keep this date. Push it back a year. Work on it a bit.
that's true. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I have anything else to say on it, to be honest.
Yeah, I genuinely think this is going to be a shorter one. It's
Yeah.
like there's not a whole crazy amount of stuff.
I had some fun. Like there's fun to be had. I did enjoy the whole sequence of Sydney like getting chased through the stab set
Yeah.
and everything like that, and like her old home. And I'm not sure why her bedroom would be that fucking accurate, but there we go.
down to like the fucked door thing, the
Yeah,
door
the,
trap.
the fuck door and the posters on the wall, and it's exactly how. Like, that seems strange, but sure, why not? Yeah, that was a fun sequence. That was a good like bit of action chase sequence and stuff. But
Yeah.
and even like again like a homage to the first one, like where going up the stairs and her just like shoving things down like into him and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That was a good bit of fun, but
The
overall it just it just didn't hit like the others.
you're right. I think there's only two more things I'd wanted to say. Firstly,
Well, say them and forever hold your peace.
well, I shall. The first thing was like I do think that they use the movie as much as it's not necessarily the ideal set for this kind of mystery, like a movie set kind of thing. I do think they use it quite well. Like you've got little things like you're getting jump scares from the wardrobe department Scream costume.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's like it's hung up on a coat hanger, and it's like whoa, and then you're like, oh, it's fucking nothing. It's just a costume.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. I also like the. I know it is kind of retroactively revealed to be him in the end, but like the little thing about it's either the producer or the director, but like a head gets just like nonchalantly knocked off a statue, and like and the guy picks it up and is like, it's all about me. It's all like this is clearly a message for something. It's like the ego of a Hollywood director to be like, this obviously is something to do with me.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. And the other thing was I don't necessarily want to give it much airtime, but like there is something going on with this movie where it's definitely making a comment on the state of the movie industry in like the 90s and 2000s.
Bold for the time.
I think very fucking bold, yeah.
Yeah, because that would be something that was like a lot of people knew about the shit Weinstein and all that was doing, but obviously couldn't say anything because careers and fucking lawsuits and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like this open secret among a lot of people. So
It was the
bold.
thing you don't say, right? It's like
Yeah.
you say the quiet thing loudly or something.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty bold to put it in there in fucking 2000.
Yeah,
So,
down to like
yeah.
the mansion with the one-way mirrors and stuff like that. Like it's
Yeah.
or the two-way mirrors, I guess. But the like all of that kind of stuff. Like it's really telling, and it's I'm genuinely like there's a level of like how do you stop this going out, because it's an overtly positive message of raising awareness for a movie industry that is on its arse, even down to like the guy that plays Dewey in the movie is like calling the Sydney actress fucking stupid and all these other kind of horrible words. And it's just summed up in a line that's like, is this before or after she rejected you? And he was like, that's not important.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just all the men are so predatory and want something back.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just, like you say, I'm very surprised it was allowed to come out in the way that it did.
Well, I suppose like if Weinstein or whatever did try to stop it, then there is just the question as to why.
Yeah. But he's also like, excuse me. Like Harvey Weinstein in his fucking heyday was also the guy that could sweep shit under the rug and make sure no one knew about it.
Boy, could he.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but like in terms of movies, like that's what he did day in, day out. Like if he didn't want something in cinemas, it wouldn't be there, and no one would be none the wiser.
Yeah.
So like,
is he still alive?
Yeah, I think he's fucking rotting in a jail somewhere.
Good. I hope he dies.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Terrible person.
Terrible person.
But yeah, overall, like, I'm when it comes to Scream 4, and then I know Scream 5 is like the newer stuff. Scream 5 is where they quote unquote become the legacy sequels and all of this because they're no longer the Wes Craven directed ones.
Yeah, he passed before those, unfortunately.
Yeah, which is a massive shame. But I hear that they have done good things with the franchise since.
Isn't it Jenna Ortega in the new ones? I believe.
I believe yes, and I think I can't remember her name. I think it's Melissa Baccarin. I think I might be butchering that pronunciation. The girl that was in The Heights.
Oh,
the one that's like the elevator train tells the boys to fuck off or something. Yeah, I don't know the song.
Can't remember her name. What was her name?
It's not Nina. Nina's the other lady.
It's the name of Lin-Manuel Miranda's actual wife, but by pure coincidence.
Buy the girl a meal on the real, or you ain't got no skills.
Hey,
Vanessa.
Yeah. we both heard your Vanessa show up. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. And this is why we podcast, those magic moments. But yeah, no, what I was going to say is I'm just excited for, like, obviously there is a difference in there's a reason that the trilogy was kind of stopped to bring a fourth installment. So I'm excited to see whatever fresh take that was. And then I'm excited going forward to see a bit more like of a modern breath of fresh air in these movies. Because I think now that in this iteration of what they've presented 1 to 3, it's only gone downhill, I think.
So yeah, it's exciting things to come because it is kind of like I say, stepping forward. It's something new, basically. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, yeah. Sorry that the Halloween special was kind of lackluster. Right? We didn't choose the movie. I mean, we did, but we committed to this 3 years ago. So
we had a spooky time.
Indeed. Maybe I'll just play some like fucking nondescript, copyright-free Halloween music under all this to liven it up.
I don't think you need to. I think this can be as is. This is fine.
This is fine. Yeah, like we said, it's free.
What do you want from us? Actual good content? Fuck off.
Yeah, go get that somewhere else. Nathan, what they do want from us, and a standard that they can hold us to, is always giving them a recommendation.
Absolutely. Oh, fuck.
You're fucking terrible.
Oh, no. I forgot we did.
Right, do you want me to do one while you think?
Yes, please.
Right.
But Lawrence, please explain the recommendations.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So what we do at the end of every episode, when Nathan remembers, is we do a little recommendation. It could be just like literally anything that we've done, watched, experienced at some point in the past week, and we like to share it with you guys so that you guys can, maybe go and enrich your lives in a way. Who knows? Yeah, my recommendation this week, while Nathan has a little scan of his brain, is Gilmore Girls. Believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Indeed.
Okay.
A show you've seen or not seen?
No, never seen it. No.
So I didn't know anything about Gilmore Girls, and I've just finished season 1. It's kind of like a bygone era when like sitcoms used to be like 40 minutes, 50-minute episodes, and they were kind of more 50-50 drama and comedy.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really good fucking show. It's like. A lot of the time you'll see a joke around this time of year that it's time to start watching Gilmore Girls. It does have a very kind of like October-ish vibe to it all.
Autumnal vibe.
Indeed, yeah.
Okay.
And it's just very like it's a very warm and cozy show, and it's a show that it's really easy to like follow. There's no silliness. It's always got like a fun little joke. The characters are really compelling and performed really well. But also, like, I think the reason why I come back to it is it's a great cast of people, and it just, when they're all in a room together, it's so wholesome. It's just a great group of characters to interact with each other. And it's also because it's, again, a bygone era of sitcoms. It's not like the archetypes either. There's not like the boss and the silly one and the Joker and all of this stuff. Not the actual character, the Joker.
Look out, the Joker is here.
But it's not like they don't fall into those archetypes. They're all actually quite well fleshed out and developed characters. And it's really good. I've started. I'm in the early kind of. I've been waiting to recommend it, but I wanted to at least finish a season first before I committed to it. But yeah,
Well, there we go.
indeed, good time.
How
Nathan,
exciting.
have you thought of one yet?
I have actually. Yeah.
Okay.
So I am going to recommend the movie Dungeons and Dragons. Movie I watched a couple of weeks back. Not even that, like a week or so ago. On a random Saturday night, I just throw it on. I thought, I haven't seen this. I'd heard somewhat good things about it. I liked the trailers, but I just never saw it. So yeah, I threw it on. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun. Just a whimsical, fun fantasy adventure. It's something that takes the broad strokes of like the D&D universe and like this fantasy realm and weird creatures and goblins and all this sort of stuff, and just has a lot of fun with it. It's essentially a heist movie, but it's a lot of fun. I had a really good time watching it. And I think
That's kind of the only way to do a
will too.
D&D movie, isn't it, really? You just take like a fun element of a campaign out.
not to spoil it, but I feel like the best thing they did with it is at no point did they pull back to like a bunch of nerds all sat around a table.
Oh, thank
and
God,
been yeah. It's never like it cuts to like the quote unquote real world. It's all within the Dungeons and Dragons universe, and it's all within that fantasy realm.
Is there any kind of like meta element to it where like one of them just like does something inexplicably weird for no reason?
There's definitely like weird characters, and it's got like a almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Like almost self-aware sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like kind of like a Lonely Island style sense of humor at times. Because there's a character who's like the ultimate like perfect warrior, like the perfect knight can do no wrong. So like handsome and hot and brave and all this sort of stuff. And then he like leaves, and then when it's time for him to like leave the party and depart and go and do his own thing, he just like walks in a straight line because he's so perfect. He doesn't even deviate from like where he's going. So he's just walking in a straight. And like Chris Pine comments on this is like, he's just walking in a completely straight line. He sees like a rock. Is he going to go around the rock? Oh no, he just walked straight over the rock. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, and I had a really good time with it. It's very funny, quite emotional at times as well.
Yeah.
It's quite good. I enjoyed it.
I do want to see that movie. I remember like I used to play like a few D&D campaigns. Like every now and again, a couple of mates would get together and we would just kind of make up a thing. But it was all very like, it was semi-formal because you have to take it a bit seriously for the fun to be there.
I can imagine knowing you would be a fucking nightmare to play D&D.
When I had like a short attention span, it was very difficult.
Yeah, because you'd just be like, I don't know, he like fucking fucks a duck. Or
no, I was committed and I did respect the rules, but we always did like little funny things. Like for example, if someone couldn't make the session that we were playing, like the dungeon master would often just be like, and unfortunately this character has suffered a heart attack and had to stay at home today. And then like, the next episode, it's like roll a whatever check, and they roll like a fucking, I don't know, like a 20 or something, and it's like, you've healed immediately, you're fine. There's no repercussions from your heart attack.
Perfect.
It's a good game. Everyone should play a little fun Dungeons and Dragons if they can.
Everyone should play some D&D at some point. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Especially if you play with some good mates, you have a good little fun campaign.
Indeed.
Yeah.
A very fun time. And speaking of fun times, if you like more of these fun times, these episodes specifically, you can mosey on over to Twitter, where you will find us at Another Happy Pod. You'll get a little post reminder when these episodes go live, which is actually every single Friday at 10 a.m. And by the way, new thing that we're doing, you can email the show. So often ahead of time, we'll say, we're going to be recording in a couple of days, a day, today, whatever, at some point, and tell you our topic, at which point you can, leave a little tweet comment back, and we'll read it out on the show, any opinions that you may have, and we also accept emails if you have any slightly longer thoughts and feelings that you want to share. So that is anotherhappypod@gmail.com. There was the @
So, Lawrence, please now take the chance. Let's go through all these tweets
Of course.
and emails we received.
Well, let me just sift through the many that we did get.
Yep.
And hang on, something's happened. It can't be because the show is not as popular as our other one, but it's seeming it's showing up 0. But I think what's happened here is I must have deleted them by mistake. Maybe I poured some hot coffee over my keyboard.
I think mainly what's happened is you didn't tweet out for any questions.
I
until
did. We
earlier
just
today.
didn't get any.
You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
I say you didn't tweet out until earlier today, giving people like 6 hours at most.
It's enough for Still Got Legs.
But Still Got Legs is more loyal.
Yeah, we do have them. Yeah, we established that loyalty because we only talk about one thing.
This podcast, like, statistically is bigger and more popular than Still Got Legs, but like Still Got Legs, like I think it's got like more of a community around it,
Yeah.
like more of a like a loyal listenership. Really,
Is that meme? Have you seen like the DC fans on the internet and DC fans at the cinema?
yeah,
That's us, but like Twitter and downloads. But yeah, no. All jokes aside, we would love to start hearing your thoughts and stuff. And you can actually start that and get ahead of the game if you tell us your thoughts on what we're doing next week, which is this.
Meta Man, Express Elevator, Diner Guy, Snag on Takeoff, Splashdown, sucked into a vortex, Knock It!
wahoo!
It's never Mario.
It is The Incredibles.
It is The Incredibles. It's going to be an
but
incredible
we
time.
don't say that.
Oh yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Should we just start saying it?
Yeah, just fucking it's Incredibles. It's always the most annoying thing when I'm editing this podcast is I'm like, I'm at the end. Great. Oh, God, I'm fucking YouTube find a clip. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, I don't have to do that. I'm Still Got Legs.
Yeah, I know, you're lucky. You're a lucky man. Anyway, it's The Incredibles. But Nathan, we have another
We don't
podcast.
say that. We don't say that.
Okay. What?
Don't say what it is.
I did, but that's fine.
They'll find out through the clip.
Fine. Nathan, we have another podcast. Do not we?
It's not going to be hard to figure out. You're clearly going to put in a clip where it's like fucking, we'll get there when we get there or whatever.
I'll
aren't
find
you?
a clip
So,
of
like,
them going, we're The Incredibles.
Great. I love The Incredibles 2004. What did you ask me?
What podcast do we do other than this one?
We do another podcast. It's called Still Got Legs.
Hell yeah.
It's all about Docky Who, and it comes out every Monday at 10 a.m. We're just starting our discussion on season 4, maybe. I don't know when this comes out. So come join us. It's a good, fun time to get involved. And we're having a lot of fun. So come and join us.
Come as you are, as a friend, as a known enemy.
Come as you are. Oh, wait. Come.
It's officially time for us to go to bed.
Oh, that's good stuff.
You can leave us a review, by the way. I forgot to say. If you want to leave us a review, that'd be much appreciated. That'd be cool.
Lawrence, just think this time in 24 hours, we'll both be playing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, and what a better mood we'll both be.
What a world we'll be in. I reckon we should call each other at like 10 to midnight and just like get excited.
I'm up for that. I remember we did this for
Yeah.
The Last of Us 2, where we
We did, and then immediately got depressed.
we called each other in excitement. It loaded up for both of us. We went, right, okay, we'll see you on the other side. We both played like 2 to 3 hours maybe.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you were like, when you get to it, call me.
Yeah.
And because you'd got there first somehow. And I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm getting there for, but that's fine. I'm sure there'll be something. And then fucking...
Well, spoilers.
Okay, it's like old now.
Yeah, but still.
Okay,
Come on.
I'll bleep that.
Someone might just be watching the TV show.
I'll bleep that. That's true, yeah. I'll bleep that, but something big happens. And Nathan and I called each other, and the mood was vastly different.
Yeah. Yes, we were severely depressed after
We just
that.
both
And
went to
just
bed
like,
sad.
oh, I'm just going to go to bed now. Yeah. Not a comment on the game. Love the game. It's more just like very sad.
Yeah.
So there we go.
It's something I didn't need at 3 a.m, put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But we're very excited to play Spider-Man.
Indeed, very much
Maybe
so.
that will be my next recommendation. Although probably not, because we'll be doing an episode on it in a few weeks.
Yeah. That's it for another spooky time this year.
Oh yes, we'll see you in a year's time for our next
Spooky season.
Very good.
when we will be discussing.
Scream 4. I'm just gonna keep this on now.
Okay, could we end the show? Just play the thing.
Yes. Oh, is it? Do I need to play?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, bye guys. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Another spooky pod.